We are good to go.
All right. What is going on, everybody? Real quick, I'm gonna do this. Kapow.
Live. We're back.
Nice.
We're back.
Back like
And
we
I've-
never left.
Oh, thanks, Darth, for the resub. What's good?
So, dude.
Love,
But
love that. Supporting yourself.
yeah, you gotta.
Chase
Oh,
your dreams.
hey,
What's up,
big
big
time.
time?
Hi.
What's going on, friend? All
Big time.
right. It's gonna be probably a little bit slower podcast this week, y'all. Everybody's kind of wiped. I've had a long couple weeks at work. Alex is fighting inner demons in his stomach right now.
I really, when I woke up, I didn't feel that bad, and then throughout the day, I've just been like, oh god, I can't stop vomiting.
Yeah, it's
Horrible.
rough, dude.
But that's okay. I'm here.
We're here and we're doing it. So I think on the docket for tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about aliens.
Confirmed.
More confirmation on aliens. We're going to talk probably about an interesting story that a flight attendant had at one point with some contact from beyond the grave. And
Oh, I forgot I sent that one. That's a wild one.
yeah. And then probably also we'll touch on some probably Russia, Ukraine stuff or whatever, probably at the end, real quick.
And as always, whatever you guys want.
And then, yeah, as always, we are open to whatever you guys have for us tonight.
We're playing the hits with aliens and ghosts this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put
Really
the
playing
I put in the
hits.
title Aliens, Ghosts, and War. Oh my.
There you go. That's a good title. I like that.
So
That's why you guys
yeah,
keep me around.
basically.
That's why we pay you the big bucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And by
So-
paying you big bucks, that means $0.
Hell yeah.
Big zeros.
That's what we like to make around here.
But yeah, so we're gonna we'll let Alex start with the alien things and kick it off, and we'll just go from there and see where the night takes us.
Big week for Bob Lazar and Jeremy Corbell. So if you don't know who Jeremy Corbell is, he has been researching unidentified flying objects for a long time. Interviewed people like Commander Fravor, who recorded the Tic Tac video. Basically, when they were doing a field exercise, there was this thing kind of chasing them around, almost like playfully, like playing with them, that they could not catch. It's all recorded on their flight logs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And super interesting video. Just search the Tic Tac video. And if you don't believe in aliens, you're going to be like, oh, well, what the hell is that? For a long time, they were trying to say it was a bird, too. Like a bird just diving down into the ocean at insane
Mock
speeds.
Jesus.
About to say.
Not a chance. It was whatever it was, whether it was ours or from another planet. It's very alien in the true sense that nobody's ever seen anything like it before. No like propulsion system either, where
Yeah, no visible like combustion trails or anything
Yeah.
like that.
it wasn't using jet fuel. Let's just put it that way. Not an engine like we know it. And then Bob Lazar is the one who claims that he worked Los Alamos
Yeah, Los
Research
Alamos.
Center, saying that they had like there's this thing they were trying to backwards
Reverse.
engineer
Yeah.
that they couldn't reverse engineer, that they couldn't figure it out what it was. And essentially he explained it like dropping off like a Yamaha motorcycle bike to like the Apache Indians. They could probably figure out how to like turn it on and get it to, run, and they could probably figure out what it was used for. But for them to ever build it, there would have been just no way that they would have been able to figure out that level of technology.
Yeah.
So, and then the Pentagon declassified a 1,500-page document of a bunch of stories, reports, interviews that they've had with people, basically claiming radiation burns, unexplained pregnancies, Like, wait a minute.
Abductions, paralyzations, even upwards of which goes hand in hand with pregnancies, but even unexplained sexual encounters. So
Yeah.
it's very.
Imagine being one of those
Imagine,
people that
imagine
was like,
getting
dude,
abducted by an alien and getting your cheeks clapped. Like,
an alien put a probe in my ass, and people are like, you're crazy. Like, clearly you're nuts. Like, no, dude, I'm telling you. So not only do you have that horrible experience, but then nobody fucking believes you.
yeah,
And then now your whole life you're living with this and the PTSD behind that. And then now now it's like, oh yeah, no, confirmed. Like, you
yeah, like,
motherfuckers.
yeah, for real. Like the Pentagon released that 1,500-page document because it was requested on a freedom of information through the Freedom of Information Act. So they're like, all
Yeah.
right, here you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got a
So
lot
they're
of
just
What?
confirmed,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like not making. I should say there's a couple major media outlets who have interviewed Corbell and done some stories on it, bringing some light to it. But I always thought if it ever happened, everybody would be losing their damn minds, and now everybody's just like, no,
I feel
business
like
as
people would
usual.
lost their minds, but it was like during the pandemic. You know what I mean? Like it was during that's when peak information started coming out, and then people just it took like a week for it to just disappear.
Yeah, people were
Yeah.
like, I saw your Marvel reference combo. I got it. Yes, it's very it's funny. I don't know how many other people. I don't know if Haley or Alex have seen those.
Oh yeah, no, that's from Guardians 2.
Yeah.
I didn't see the comment.
I got
He
you.
said ego fucking around in Missouri again. So the whole plot line
Oh.
of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was that Chris Pratt's character, his he found his dad, which happened to be this pretty powerful
Titan.
alien Titan being or whatever, and he
Well, and
fell in love with dude's mom, and then Chris Pratt's character was born. So
if there's unexplainable or unplanned, I forget what the exact
it's
words
unexplained,
they
I
used.
think, because I watched that video.
Unexplained
Yeah, unexplained.
pregnancies, like, did those go full term? Like,
Yeah, there wasn't
are
really much
there?
information on that. Like, are there half alien kids running around, or
Who are they? Where are they? I want to talk. I had
I
so
want
many
to talk to him.
questions.
I want to
I
talk to
had
them, dude.
so many questions.
Like, do you have
Like,
a superior intellect? Do you have superpowers? Like, what's going on? Are you some Superman type dude? Like, you can that we just haven't heard about yet? Or like, what's going on?
burning question in my mind, if I ever get to meet an alien, will be, did you guys really give us cats? Because
Yo,
that makes a
facts.
lot of
That's the
sense
first.
to me.
You're the first
Makes
thing
a
out of my
lot of
mouth. Did
sense to me.
you help all these civilizations build very similar pyramids? And did you give us cats?
I'm telling you, dude. I think it's true. I look at my little hairless cat. I shouldn't say mine. Our hairless cat. And I'm like, you're a fucking alien, dude. I know it.
Well, especially
I
the
know it.
hairless ones. Those definitely.
Yeah, the hairless ones are the worst.
They're not hiding
Yeah.
anything.
They all look like that too if you shave their fur, Like they
Yeah.
look like aliens. I'm telling you, dude. Big week. Big week.
Big week.
Now we just need them to slide through. Say what's up.
Yeah, actually be like, what's
Sup,
poppin'?
dude? Nah, dude,
So-
shut up, little bitch.
What's up, little bitch? So, Chad, question for you: how many of you guys believe in aliens? I'm curious.
I'm still on the fence.
Maybe
Well,
Ham
how
run a
can you be on the
poll
fence?
in the chat.
I just am. I don't know how to explain it. It's because, I don't know.
Can one of you pull up the Tic Tac video?
Yeah, I already have it.
I don't know how anybody can watch that. And the only justification that I could think of is that it's top level,
It's super secret project that the military's working on.
yeah. But then the military wouldn't be asking them to go take a look at it during the middle of a field training exercise.
They
would
might
know
if
what's up
they.
there.
Nah, not always. Sometimes that shit goes way above their everyday Joe's pay grade.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was a commander. I mean,
Yeah, they still don't know everything. There's some stuff that doesn't get pushed.
I know. But it's wild, man.
Is this what you were talking about, Alex?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yep. Yeah. So he's flying a Super Hornet.
Yeah, he's flying an F-18 with the flare camera on the front of it.
Is this the one with all the audio with it also?
It's possible.
It was
We'll
like
see.
literally the first one that I clicked on when you were talking
Yeah.
about it at the beginning.
Well, part of it too, why I like the videos, you can tell they're like little kids. They're like, holy shit, what is that? Like,
Let's chase it.
yeah, exactly. Well, and then the part where they lose it, and then it, at the very end, the last time they see it is back at their rally point where they were supposed to rally for the field training exercise. Like whatever it was, knew that they were up there and where their coordinates were and what
Yeah.
they were doing.
Oh shit.
It looks like a little turd.
Kind of looks like a little Tic Tac.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh. Wait. Yeah, that is it. I mean, I don't know. That to me, like, I don't know.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good video. I could find a better one. The one that Corbell has in his documentary has like the audio footage of the guys, of all the communication back from base to the guys in the air.
I mean,
And-
I can definitely find a better, yeah.
When they're saying, you know, what is it? And they're like, we don't know, but we've been running into a lot of them. Go see what's up. Like, go check it out for us.
Yeah.
And then it's moving. The propulsion system is just wild. It's like a drone, but
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like sitting there and it's like running the same speed, and then as the camera keeps getting a lock on it, it's like it just jets out of like super fast.
it's like if you could make a drone fly as big and as fast as a jet, but at supersonic speeds, and like break the sound barrier, which I don't know.
I've seen better videos. That one wasn't very good, but I had seen better videos of that. Combo says, I don't think we've found them yet. I don't think they're as intelligent as us. Like, I think they're microorganisms.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about aliens being microorganisms and like little microorganisms flying that thing. Yeah.
I don't know what they are. They're definitely an intelligent life force. I mean, it's pretty clear. And they started getting involved with us pretty heavily after the first nuclear weapon was detonated.
Yeah.
I think they were up there like,
Observing.
oh, look at these little chimps on this little water-filled planet. Look at these little guys down here. And then they're like, oh shit, the chimps made a nuke. And they're shooting it at each other.
Yeah, like, oh fuck, the chimps are blowing their world up.
Yeah.
Nancy, you said you've had a few weird experiences. Do you care to elaborate?
My brother was on here talking about his experience.
Yeah, I remember that. It was a South Padre on Hugo's bachelor party.
Yep. Sober as a bird, too.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a ghost experience.
Eh.
Right?
No,
Or
Max was different because there was like this weird, like it was like a big mass of like basically as he described it, it sounded like the thing had like a cloaking mechanism on, and it was like kind of just reflecting what was around.
Okay,
And
maybe.
correct.
It
Oh,
like
I
went
was
and then
thinking
it just went away.
He said it was like almost translucent in the sense that you could only see it from like a certain angle at like a certain light. And it kind of had like dimples on it, almost like golf ball,
Hmm.
but like it was huge, massive. Don't
That's
know
weird.
how else to describe it.
Yeah. Nancy said she was 5 and you had some missing. You had missing time. Interesting, Nancy. Interesting. Nancy, you and I are going to sit down and talk when I come for Alex's wedding in November.
Well, I don't even think I knew that.
I'd be interested to hear.
We're all going to talk.
Yeah, but say
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear too.
Yeah. Well, that's Barney.
Came out
And
with a weird
Betty-
wound. I'm like, whoa.
Came out with a weird wound on your leg. That's interesting.
You know,
Radiation burns.
one of the most interesting movies I think I've ever seen to date is the Fourth Kind or Fifth Kind, Fourth Kind.
Oh,
something,
yeah.
with Nina Petrovich. I don't fucking know how to pronounce her last name, but it came out when I was like in 7th grade or something, and it will still to this day.
It's like Strange Encounters of the Third Kind or something shit
Close
like that.
It's
encounters
based-
of
Or
the
Close Encounters.
Yeah, it's based on like real or something occurrences in a small town in Alaska. Let me look it up because it was interesting.
Yeah.
Fourth Kind. I think it is called the Fourth Kind. Fourth Kind.
I should know this
2009.
'cause I've seen it.
Okay. Science. Oh, it is science fiction. Okay, just kidding. Wait.
Yeah, I think that one
Perpetrating
was-
to be dramatic reenactment of true events.
Yeah.
Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. That's like the description of it. Not the actual thing of it.
Hmm.
If you go down this rabbit hole, you can be there for a while because there's some weird shit.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's true.
We've talked about the guy who they were out logging. They were
Yeah.
cutting down trees, and he had gotten into a fight with one of the guys on his crew that morning because he was like screwing his girlfriend or something. And so they go out and they see this, UFO or whatever you want to call it, something that they can't describe, a big ship. And the one guy like gets out of the truck and goes running up towards it, while the rest of them are like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Get back in the truck! Like we got to get out of here." Well, he goes running up towards it, and the thing goes to take off, and the whatever it uses to propel itself like shot out a blast and like knocked him out.
What?
And his buddies took off. His buddies were like, "We got to get the fuck out of here."
Mhm.
And so
The homies
they're
left?
driving. Yeah, the
Yeah.
homies left.
Holy
And
shit.
so they're driving away because they're scared shitless. They think he's dead. And then one of the guys is like, "Dude, we have to go back. Like we cannot just leave him there." So he convinces them to go back. They go back to the spot and they see like all the brush that was there and like the log that he hit his head on and everything, but he's not there. And so they go back into town and they go to the sheriff and say, "Hey, our buddy is missing, and he got blasted by this extraterrestrial-looking craft." And they're like, "Yeah, you're all under arrest for murder. Like, you definitely."
Yeah,
know."
straight
What?
up. They're like, you guys
Yeah,
are on
so
drugs
they-
and you killed your friend.
So they arrested all of them, and they're being held at the station. Like, "Okay, dude, just tell us, like, what's the deal? Your buddy got in a fight. You got in a fight with this dude in the morning. Like, things escalated. Was it money or, what was it?" And they're like, "I'm telling you, we did not murder this man, and we don't know where he is. This is what happened." All of their stories corroborate. 3 days later, he gets dropped off on a street, on a highway right around the same area that he got abducted from, and has a story about he woke up. He was in it looked like a ship, obviously a craft, that the walls were like seamless. It was all like, it kind of looked like
One
aluminum,
piece. Yeah.
but it was all seamless. There wasn't any screws or like shiplap, overlapping. And he wakes up and he's freaking out, and he finds a scalpel and is like wielding it at these, what he describes as gray bodies, big heads, like the classic looking alien. And they like back off, and he takes off to what he described as like a control room. And so he starts hitting buttons, thinking like, maybe if I hit the right button, I can get out. Well, then I think he says like a man and a woman, like that's what they appeared as to him. Like they look like people. came into the control room, and he's like, "Oh, thank God! Like there are actual people here. Like you guys got to help me." And so they like calm him down. They don't really say anything. They're speaking to him, but like they're not using words.
Mhm.
And so they get him back to the table, and then he goes out again. And the next thing he remembers, he's waking up with the craft flying off, and he's in the middle of the road, and he's not dead. And so his buddies get released, and they're like, "We fucking told you." And yeah, he's been interviewed. Everybody corroborates the story. I mean, there was 5 of them, so and there's obviously arrest records to indicate,
Yeah.
that they thought they murdered their buddy. And for 3 days, he was just gone, and then just got
Strange,
dropped
dude.
off.
Sounds like a
He's
really
back.
bad acid trip.
I mean, they were working.
Right?
They're logging.
They're
They're
logging, so
cutting
I would
down
not
lumber.
be
I think they were
Oh,
in
they
a
were
wood
operating
okay.
heavy. Yeah, they're loggers. They're operating heavy machinery. I would not be taking acid while I'm operating heavy machinery.
They didn't want to
It
get a
was
little
right
crazy.
It was
Some
right
people-
at the end of the day too. They were almost done, and they went to one more area because they were behind on work, and they decided to work a little bit longer. So whatever was out there, whatever it was doing, probably knew that they left at a certain time,
Yeah.
and they just stayed longer that day and saw this ship.
Saw the ship, and the ship
and-
was like, "Oh fuck, they're not supposed to see us."
Yeah, and I think the aliens were like, "Dude, we can't just leave that dude there."
Everybody was
just
like, "Yo, we
blasted
can't.
the shit out
We
of
just
him.
backblasted that dude into oblivion. We should probably see if he's okay and maybe like help him out because he's probably hurt." And his buddies were like, "Oh fuck, we have to go back."
Yeah.
And then they healed homie up in a couple of days and then dropped him off.
So clearly, whatever it was has like some sense of conscience and like some sense of morality also.
It's like sympathy, I guess.
Empathy.
We've told the story about the kids in
Africa.
Africa that all claim the same thing. Also,
Yeah.
shiplands.
Shiplands,
Same
they all
story.
like they all
Little-
they didn't get abducted, but they all like had interactions with the extraterrestrials, and then
And
they left.
do you remember what the message was to them?
No, because it's been a little bit.
Technology will be the death of our civilization.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's a fairly fair statement.
kind of playing out,
Yeah.
I mean, we're not too far.
Yeah, for
You know,
real.
People ripping each other heads off on Twitter over, bullshit
Over baseball.
over baseball. Yeah. Hey, that guy's a listener now.
Yeah,
and
That's
we're-
true.
we're
I'm messing
friends.
with you.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, no, then they got interviewed, and they interviewed him like 20, 30
Mm.
years later, and they all still said the same thing.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
So it's,
I
it's
don't
strange.
mean to.
Like,
I don't
there's
mean to
plenty.
be a non-believer.
No,
any
healthy
means.
skepticism is good, and yeah, but there's just a lot of stuff out there, and the big thing during like the pandemic and everything when all that got released was like it kind of validated a lot of things for a lot of people. Now, I feel like the reason that it was released during the pandemic was because the pandemic was the overarching thing. So like we can get away with releasing this now, and everybody's gonna be like, "Well, that's crazy," and then go back to focusing on not getting COVID.
Well, what was it, like 5 episodes ago? We talked about those theologians being hired by NASA to be like,
Yeah.
hey, if we, like told everybody that there were aliens, like, what do you think that would look like in the religious community? Like, let's sit down and talk about it.
Yeah,
Like, what? So we might have figured out
that we're
kinda
not
like
alone.
the creation of life. We might have a better idea now, but I don't know. Rogan talks about it all the time.
Yeah,
You want it to be real, so you have to keep a healthy level of skepticism, because I mean it'd be so legit if like that was just confirmed and they just
Yeah.
come down and were like, hey guys, yeah, just been watching, just kind of hanging out. Sorry about that one dude that we kind of blasted into oblivion, but we healed him up, and so what's good, y'all? I mean,
Oh, what's good?
right. What's popping, homies?
What's goody? What's poppin'?
Technology kind of sucks down here. You guys aren't that smart.
But also, we told
Wow.
these kids in Africa that that'll be the death of you. So, like, maybe don't advance anymore. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in that sense, like, isn't that how a lot of warfare is probably going to develop over the next few decades? Is like technological warfare.
Well, that's how. So that's how technology started rapidly advancing in the first place was because of war. So during World War
Okay.
One, war was fought a different way from before World War One. Everybody would line up on the hillsides and stuff in their bright ass uniforms and just fire volleys at each other. And then World War One, they started that and they were like, "Well, we are losing people at a rapid rate, and we can't fight war like this anymore." So then technology rapidly advanced in order to fight war, and then that bleeds over into the civilian sector, and then it just keeps going. So as technology advances in the civilian sector, the military looks at it and goes, "Ah, we could have an application for that. Here goes a fat contract. Develop this for military use,"
Interesting. Well,
and vice versa.
I meant like internet, like specifically speaking.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah,
that-
like even that too. Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of what I was kind of hinting as. Like, I mean, countries essentially hacking into other countries.
yeah. It's just gonna be that's just how it. That's just how things change. Like so, it started back in World War One as technology advanced, and now here we are with the internet, and it's gonna develop more or lean more towards internet and technological based attacks first, and then the ground forces will go after a country's infrastructure, yeah, electric, gas, water, all
Which
that
makes
stuff that's
sense.
run off of the internet and electricity gets hit first.
our cybersecurity intelligence has been on high alert since Russia went into Ukraine, because that's what Putin keeps saying he's going to do if we keep aiding Ukraine. That it's not going to be like boots on the ground kind of war, but it's going to be like a trying to hack the banking system or trying to shut our energy grid down or
Take away
something
my
to that
student
effect.
loans.
Well, you shut down the energy grid for a week and shit's going to start. People, you talk about going after each other's throats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will not be good. But I don't think they've got the intelligence or the time. They're too busy getting their ass kicked by poisoned rolls. Did you see that?
Yeah, I didn't look at it, but I
Bunch of-
saw the thing. Yeah.
Well, they keep just like literally raping and pillaging.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
cities.
protests in Ukraine right now because Russian soldiers, as they move through or were moving through, are just like raping and killing women and children.
Well, and then they're just going into stores and just taking whatever they want. So a bunch of Ukrainians in one city decided to poison these specific, like, I think they were like dinner rolls or like bread rolls, whatever.
Sweet rolls or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and poison a bunch of the alcohol. So the Russian soldiers swoop through, grab the rolls, grab the booze, and then like 500 of them died.
Jesus.
Which is pretty brilliant. I mean, and fuck,
Yeah.
if you're raping and pillaging cities, you should probably not just be brazen enough to think you can just
Sorry.
steal all their shit too, and they're not going to push back.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. It's at least 2 Russian soldiers have been killed and some 28 sickened by poisoned food provided by Ukrainian civilians.
I thought the number
Killed.
was a lot higher than that.
The 2 killed reportedly were members of the 3rd Motor Rifle Division. They died immediately after eating stuffed buns.
Why?
Some 500 Russian troops have also become ill from alcohol poisoning of unknown origin, apparently in other areas. So the Ukrainians are doing whatever they can to get Russia out
Yeah.
and make it as hard for them as possible.
One of Putin's high-level members of the military is in like a maximum security prison or something because of his intel on Ukraine. He's like, our intel sucked. Thanks a bunch, bro. Now you get to go to prison.
Straight to jail.
Gulag.
Yeah, you did your job so shitty that I'm putting you in jail.
Imagine.
He's
Which is
so
hilarious
embarrassed right
because
now.
that means like American intelligence did their job pretty shitty as well because they thought Russia was going to overrun in like 30 days, and here we are. Or actually, not even that. It's going to be like a couple of weeks, and then here we are, months down the road.
Yeah, still getting that ass kicked.
Yep.
I have the article pulled up about your flight attendant, Alex.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Let's
This
yeah,
is this is
let's talk
a
about
neat
this.
one. now that we've talked about aliens
Yes.
and how real they are.
Yeah, so the backstory to this is, and I don't remember what airline it was, but a flight attendant was on an airline, and a passenger was asleep, but she talked to what she believed was the man's wife, uh, and that's the premise. And I'll just let hopefully the TikTok should be on. I think so. Let's just scroll down, keep going. Oh, is it not going to show up?
It says page not available.
Oh, well, that's annoying. All right, so basically, I'll just give the synopsis of it then. So basically, what happened is this flight attendant is talking to who she believes is, a passenger on the plane. The husband's asleep. She's talking to who she believes is uh, the wife, and the wife's like, oh, you don't wake him up. He's fine. He's had a really long week. Just, I could use another blanket. I'm kind of cold. So she gives the blanket. She goes, you guys haven't had any food or anything yet. Would you like something to eat? And she goes, no, no, no. Just bring, like, we're fine. Just bring him a green tea with milk and sugar in it, for when he wakes up. And then, that'll be all good. And she goes, okay. So she turns around, walks back to the galley to get that for the passengers, and talks to one of the other flight attendants, and is like, hey, the two passengers over there haven't had anything to eat or drink, whatever. I talked to the guy's wife, and the other flight attendant's like, oh, that's weird. Like, he's been asleep the whole time, so I haven't really bothered him, and I didn't even realize that somebody was sitting next to him. And she goes, okay, whatever. So she fixes the tea and comes back, and the guy is awake, but the wife is no longer there. And so she assumes that, oh, maybe the wife, popped into the lavatory. And so she starts talking to the husband, and he's like, what, did you bring me this tea? And she goes, yeah, your wife, I'm guessing she must be in the lavatory right now, said that this is, the tea that you like. And so we brought that to you because she requested it, and I brought her a blanket and stuff. And he goes, well, that's weird because my wife's dead. I'm taking her home on this flight. Like, she's down in cargo right now. And I'm bringing her home. And he's like, did you bring me this tea? Like, this. Yeah. She's like, yeah, green tea with milk and sugar, like your wife said that you liked. And he goes, yeah, this is how I take it, but my wife's dead. And she was like, oh, okay. That's really, that's okay.
He was like, she's probably still a little bit worried about me because it's been a rough week.
Yeah. And the flight attendant's like, oh, okay, well, that's really sweet, and just, like, leaves.
So there's that.
Wait.
I don't know exactly when this happened, but it was, like, decently recent, I guess. So yeah, that's so you have a little bit there that your loved ones still look out for you after they're gone on past the grave.
The part where she says, I'm a little cold, can you bring me another blanket? And she's down in cargo. It's like,
Yeah, I was
whoa.
like, oh god, yeah, no wonder
Yeah,
you're
I bet
cold.
it's a little chilly
You're
down
fucking
there.
freezing down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's interesting. I know we've talked about this before on the podcast about other people's, like, stories about stuff like that, but I thought it was interesting that this was an interaction that somebody who has no connection to these people, like, had with them.
Yeah. And posted it on TikTok. I know. Right?
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. Like, when I think about this, like, spirit interaction, mind you, because I haven't really gotten a chance to, like, I want to do a reading with Emily, definitely. But, like, most of my, like, type of understandings of this is, like, from playing fucking Phasmophobia with Ben and our friends sometimes, and, like, it's never kind. Like,
No, those interactions are not kind. Those spirits are out to kill you.
Like, and so, I don't know. The unknown is
I don't know.
scary. This
Yeah.
entire podcast, minus the Ukraine things, has been around for me, the idea of the unknown, and it's makes my muscles tense.
Yeah.
The
So I don't know.
heebie-jeebies.
I think it's kind of like a wholesome interaction, because something my mom told me is, she's like, yeah, if I ever die, I will haunt you. It's gonna be like a nice thing. She's like, so if you ever smell like the smell of, like, cookies baking or something like that, like, you'll know that I'm, like, around. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I had a reading with Emily at one point. She's like, do you have, like, a female energy, like, sometimes you feel, like, around your house or something like that? And I was like, I don't know. My mom told me that if she ever dies, that she'll fucking, like, haunt me or whatever. And Emily thought that was kind of, like, interesting. So apparently there's some kind of, like, it was probably, like, maybe a grandma or something, or a great grandma that had, like, died and still, like, watching over me or some shit. I don't know.
Still looking out.
Yeah, still looking out for your boy.
Good looks. Good looking
Yeah.
out.
For real. So
Ugh. But that's all that. Alex, did you send anything else for today? I'm checking in our messages. I'm sorry.
nah,
I sent
that
a
was
few things. I can't remember all of them though.
It was the passenger Russian
Tum-tums
troops.
making my brain feel foggy.
Yeah, no, I get it. It was a late night at work for me.
yeah. So sorry, Chad. It's just hey, I'm big super hand that's supporting you boys too. I
Mwah.
appreciate that. I appreciate that,
Thanks.
Liv.
Thank you.
Appreciate
We'll
that. It's a
take
little
what
bit of
we
a,
can
like
get.
a slower, less hikey energy this week because Alex is feeling icky. I'm tired. Ham's tired.
Ugh.
But we didn't want to skip another week, back to back weeks, and
I mean, to be fair, I worked a
we had
double last weekend, so.
yeah, we had a couple of things to talk about. So good luck, love you guys. Love you too, Liv. Thank you.
And I'm here.
And
Yes,
Combo's
combo.
here. Yes, Combo. You remind me of how I was when I was a kid, trying to be the center of attention all the time.
And I'm here.
It's not about you, Combo.
I'm here.
Combo's day one though.
True.
We do love combo.
Big support guy.
Big support guy. We love that. We appreciate
I
it.
saw something, and I hope that this was a joke. Well, I don't hope that it was a joke, but I don't know if it was a joke. But I saw something that's trending around Twitter recently that like Joe Rogan came out as like non-binary or something.
That's a total joke.
I figured it was because I was like, I feel like this would be bigger news than a couple of like trolls on Twitter posting some shit about this.
No. Yeah, he might have said it on his show as like a joke. Like, yeah, I'll identify. Oh, we could talk about that. What is it,
That other
Leah?
thing. That
Leah
other article. I haven't
Thomas?
read that one yet.
Leah
Oh, I
Thompson?
literally just had it up. Hold on.
Who's just dominating the women's NCAA swimming.
Oh, was she the one that was a dude that was like ranked terribly because he was bad and then switched to being a woman and is now just destroying everyone?
Yeah, and the female swimmers are pissed.
Yeah,
Which I don't blame them.
I don't blame him either.
Oh, wait,
'Cause-
they're swimmers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're swimmers. So it was this dude. I don't remember like what. Oh, she was a male beforehand. It was like not a very good swimmer. It was ranked like 430 something, like real bad.
It's like
and
Leah Thompson. Leah
something
Thomas?
like that. Something like
Something
that. So
like-
then came out, identified as a woman, went through all the changes and everything, and is now just destroying everyone in the swimming and collegiate swimming.
My
So-
point on that remains the same. If the other girls aren't comfortable with it, then it shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I think this is
Yeah.
a hard subject.
Well,
I
I
know.
mean, it is, but at the same time, like, there's been a kind of a trend, at least a fair amount of male athletes who weren't super good in their respective sports, who then transitioned and, were like, I'm actually, a female and went through all the processes and played the exact same sport on the female side and are just dominating everybody.
Well, there's another transgender swimmer that is female to male, and she's still, or he is still swimming with the female swimmers because if he or she goes up, just because she changes from woman to man, if she goes into the men's races, she's going to get crushed. I mean, she's not going to have a
I will
shot.
say, like, and swimming is hard because
Yeah.
if y'all, I mean, I know Ben knows. Alex, if you didn't know, like, I competitively swam for like a decade. Like,
Oh, really?
And like did the year round. Could have did Junior Olympics if I actually gave a fuck. Like, but going up against men. So an easy example is like the 50-yard freestyle, the sprint.
Hmm.
It takes women a lot longer to break 30 seconds on those because like dudes will be doing like 24s and 25s while women will still be doing like 28 and 29s. It's just muscle composition and density, I believe.
Exactly, yeah.
So like that's something that can't change when you transition, I don't believe. Like
Yeah,
it's just hormone
it doesn't
based.
really. Yeah, it's mainly hormones, but it doesn't genetic or cellularly alter your body.
Right.
Like your muscle composition, your bone density, all of that stays the same.
For the most part, I believe, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think for if you transition from female to male, I think it's easier for
You can at
to
least put on some
build
more muscle mass because
muscle
you start
mass.
taking testosterone, which
Right.
boosts muscle growth and development.
But the reverse side is I don't believe taking, like, I don't know the full process, but like doing a mass amount of estrogen, I assume it to be, or like I don't know
Yeah.
if that's the hormone that they take.
Whatever the hormone treatment is, yeah.
I don't believe that makes it less. If like, if
Yeah,
that
I
makes
don't think it
sense.
does.
Once you've developed, once your testosterone is developed and you've gone through puberty, and
Right.
you can't get rid of that. You can't just go in there and take it out. Like you've already developed as a man.
Yeah.
And this is the case that when we talked about this, I don't know how long ago,
Weeks ago.
long time ago, we said, the idea of having transgender people compete is great. I mean, everybody can compete. If you don't feel comfortable as a male in your own body and you want to transition to a female, more power to you. Like, let me know how I can help. But when you have bad actors that very clearly make a change like this to go win gold medals, it's shitty. It's not fair for the
Yeah.
other girls,
Yeah.
Especially in swimming, which is such a single individual centered sport.
Mhm.
Like, it's not a team sport, really. Like, they could be all swimming for the same college, but it's not a team sport,
Well,
Yeah.
when we talked about this also, we brought up a list of track and field times, like 100 meter, 500 meter, and all the averages in the men's category and in the female category as well. And the times are just drastically different. I mean, that's the reason why there's a men's category in competition and a female, like to make it fair so that they can, so they're not just getting shit on all the time.
Yeah, so because if you make it co-ed, it's going to be once in a blue moon, and I'm not saying this to be insensitive, but it's just going to be once in a blue moon that a female athlete comes along and whoops all the males.
I
in
wonder
respect to
then
sport.
a possible route to take, depending on how many more transgender athletes are participating in sports. I wonder if they would
Make a transgender division.
Is that wild to think? Like,
I feel
as
like
an idea, or is that like way too, or is that marginalizing them more?
I think it's going to end up somebody's going to cry foul on that, and it's going to be them ended up getting like marginalized. They're going to be like, oh, so we did this to, and they'll be like, we did this to change because we don't feel comfortable as like a male or a female, so we transitioned to compete because in our body that we feel like we should deserve, but now you're going to put us
Okay.
separate from everybody else. That's not why we did this.
Okay,
So
I figured as much.
I feel like that's going to happen
as like just a
if
thought.
they were to do that.
Like
I
don't
brought
know.
that up when we talked about it, and the response I got was not
Not
I was just
He was shunned.
going further
Okay.
down the wrong rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But
because they deserve to compete. I fully
absolutely.
right, but like
Yeah.
I feel like in any sport, like you should be, going up against people who are equal of you in ability.
Yeah.
Listen,
is
if
a
you
word?
surveyed all of those swimmers and they all said, yes, we have no problem with this, let Leah swim and race, and if she beats us, she beats us, then cool, I'm fine with that too,
Yeah.
But when you have when they're standing up there first, second, third, and fourth, and 2 through 4 are standing over here and just completely leaving Leah out, the gold medal winner, and they're saying, well, second place got first, basically, like, congrats, girl, like, you really won it. They're very clearly pissed off.
They're big meta because the time disparity is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm reading about it a little bit now.
A group of Arizona swimmers that includes former Olympians wrote a letter of concern to the NCAA last month after transgender athlete Leah Thomas swept the recent women's championship in Atlanta, where Thomas, a biological male, outperformed and outplaced multiple female competitors. Sent in late March to the NCAA Board of Governors, the athletes say that the collegiate governing body has successfully failed everyone by allowing Thomas, who has distinct biological advantages, to compete against women to, quote unquote, appease everyone.
And this is the dicey territory you get into is like, well, if you don't let them compete, then you're biased and prejudiced against transgenders and you're a bigot. And if you do let them compete, then everybody else is unhappy because they're getting their ass whooped because it's essentially a biological male going and swimming against a bunch of females.
If you're a biological male and you want to swim, go swim with the other biological males. Or if it's to the point where, you transitioned early enough and you didn't get that competitive advantage and you've been on hormone replacement therapy, whatever it is, again, and all the other girls are like, well, clearly, she's been dedicated to this for a long time. She doesn't have that biological advantage anymore. So let
It's
her swim
just
with the girls.
it's just sus that it was a person who was a biological male getting their ass kicked in swimming for however long and then switched and is now beating everyone else's ass. And
Just
there's a
type
trend
in
of
the
athletes
floor.
that do that. And it's just like, all right. Like, are you actually doing this because this is like how you feel, or are you doing it because you're tired of losing?
Well, there was the MMA example where,
Yeah, Joe Rogan talked about it because you
yep,
could have somebody that was a biological male, fully developed, big ass like muscle mass because they worked out and were competing in the men's division, and then decided to switch. You're just gonna crumple females.
the girl she fought, the one who transitioned, she broke her skull, and she
Yeah,
didn't know that she was fighting somebody who had transitioned. She had no idea that she was born a biological male,
yeah. So
and
she
she
walked in the
almost
ring and
fucking killed her.
yeah,
Literally fractured her skull. Like, that's not cool, dude. Like, don't do
no,
that. That's not nice at all,
like and
you
it's on the
know?
UFC as well for not telling that fighter that she was going up against someone who was a biological male and then transitioned.
Well, and then there was another
Because you
girl.
know why they didn't do that? I have a feeling the reason they didn't do that is because none of the females would have taken that fight.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%.
There would have been no fight. It would have just been like that card just didn't exist anymore.
There was another MMA fighter, female, who fought a transitioned male to female. She knew about it. She agreed to it because she had been taking the hormone replacement therapy for, X amount of years and
Hmm.
testosterone levels were way down, blah, blah, blah. She agreed. She said, yeah, no, that's fine. I'll fight her. And she almost beat her. Um, the transition one, but the one
Yeah,
who transitioned still won, but it was more of a fair fight, like she still had a chance. And in
yeah,
that case,
because
great. Who, just we're it amazes me that we're always about protecting women, which we should be. 1,000% equal rights, women, men, no arguments there. But then when it comes to this, we're basically like, well, fuck women, you know.
yeah,
Let the dudes
essentially,
play and just beat them.
Caitlyn Jenner is
Oh,
actually speaking out.
oh, Caitlyn Jenner's pissed.
Yeah, saying like that transgender women shouldn't be taking a part in competitive female sports.
I saw something about that the other day. I was gonna read that article, but I didn't have time to like
There's a
click on it and read it.
ton
But I
of
thought it
them
was very
now.
interesting that Caitlyn Jenner was like, no. But at the same breath, though, Caitlyn Jenner won all of her stuff when she was Bruce Jenner, and then transitioned afterwards.
And Bruce
Correct.
Jenner actually won in the Olympics before.
Yeah, he was an Olympic
Oh, he was
athlete.
an Olympian,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so she competed when she was Bruce Jenner and won all of her stuff, and then transitioned
Right.
afterwards. So
And again, if you want to transition. Like, I don't
yeah, do
it's
whatever
your
makes you
life.
happy,
Do what makes you happy. But don't do it and then
but
have an
don't do it
unfair
because
advantage and then go
be-
start beating
yeah,
women.
like don't do it because winning will make you happy.
And
She
that's
is big.
undoubtedly what will happen.
Yeah,
Holy
There's a
shit.
whole movie called Juana Man. We've talked about this. Where the whole premise is he gets kicked out of the NBA and then he starts dressing up like a girl so he can keep playing basketball in the WNBA and just like dominates everybody.
All respect when I say this, Leah's a big bitch.
Oh, she's big.
All
Oh yeah.
respect. All
I haven't
respect.
seen it.
Holy
Show it on the thing.
shit.
I haven't seen her.
Like,
No, she's big.
she's terrifying. Like I said, all respect. But like,
Sus.
I wouldn't go up. I wouldn't be going up against
Yeah,
her. Like
I'm not gonna swim.
I wouldn't. She. Why does it keep doing that? I wouldn't like. She's. Holy shit. Her shoulders Where was that
Yeah.
picture? Like,
Oh, you can tell she's
Like-
she used to be a man.
that's
She's a
crazy.
biological male.
Like, why does it keep doing that? Like that's unfair already. Like I
Yeah.
thought, like I think I'm broad, right?
That one picture on the top right corner is one of my favorites, where the girl who got second is like mockingly clapping.
Oh, yeah,
that
right
one?
above it.
When they give out all the medals and stuff, everybody's cheering for the girls who finished second, third,
That
fourth,
one?
and
Yeah.
then Leah gets her medal, and
Dude, the one from Texas
yeah,
is just
good for
mean
you.
mugging her so hard.
well, the one from Texas has spoken out a lot. Classic.
Wow.
I mean,
I'd be
Classic
so
Texas.
scared to go up against her. Holy shit. She looks like she could.
let me see
She
if
has the
I can-
wingspan of a fucking titan.
Oh, gosh.
That's incredible. No wonder she fucking beat these people up. She got shoulders, bruh. She got shoulders. Holy.
Loki, stop.
That's I mean, it's a hard, I mean, I was reading through some more of that Caitlyn Jenner article. She said there's no right answer to all of the
No,
questions.
there's not.
There's really
yeah.
not, but like, because you want proper representation for the trans community in sports. I like, plain simple, but how do you do so? And that's a question that I think will have to be developed over time, and I think it will
Then
take
fuck it. Make every sport co-ed.
fucking. But I don't.
She was
I'm gonna watch 6'4" dudes just dunk on small females.
in 2018, 2019, when she was competing as a male, she was ranked 554th in the 200 freestyle, 65th in the 500 freestyle, and 32nd in the 1650 freestyle in the Penn's
Oof.
championship, which was 2018, 2019. Now she's a gold medalist, #1 women's swimmer
Yeah.
in the NCAA. So
I mean,
there you go.
yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
If I had to go up against her, I would feel pretty shitty.
Yeah, bro, you have to just
goofy
swim in
world
your
we're living
friggin'
in.
heart out.
Yeah, like I would give it my best, but I knew that there would be some sort of biological unfair advantage.
All to
So-
keep the blue check marks happy on Twitter. God bless them.
Essentially,
It's a hard subject.
it's a strange world we live in, man. Aliens abducting people, ghosts talking to flight attendants, and
Dude,
transgender athletes smoking the competition.
yeah. Even the aliens would be like, y'all aren't really doing that, are you? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You guys aren't very logical.
Yeah,
Flying nukes at each other.
I don't know. It's hard.
it is hard.
It's a tough subject. I mean, obviously there's a lot of passion involved in the conversation as well, because I don't want anybody's life to be harder because they decide to transition. I want them to, again, be as happy as possible, live as good of a life as possible, but at the same time not take advantage of their situation.
Yeah, we still have to make sports competition fair.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you one thing. If my daughter was one of the ones getting beat out, I would be not happy. I'd
Yeah.
probably be... Twitter would probably have deleted my account by now. Been like, "Bro, you can't be here anymore."
Permanent jail, permanent Twitter jail.
Yeah, you're banned. You can't say things like that to the NCAA.
I mean, I think they're taking votes though. That's from what I understand.
Yeah, we'll
I
see
think-
how that goes.
Yeah.
It's the pendulum swing that we talk about all the time, right? You get so far to the left, and then shit like this happens, and people are like, wait a minute. Maybe all those people that disagreed with this were onto something. Now
Yeah.
it'll come back to the right, and then it's always something.
What's Combo talking about?
He's talking about Alex going to Twitter jail.
Oh.
You're done.
You're done.
You're done.
I've been to Twitter jail, and I don't want to go back.
I don't think I have anything personally.
I don't really have anything else. Alex's tummy is rumbling, bumbling, so
Yeah.
Matt's just doing his best to keep it together.
Doing all right. I did crush my mini pitcher of water though.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Chat, do you have anything else for us? We're keeping this week real short and sweet.
Yeah.
We'll come
Promise.
back again next week, recharged even more so. I have the second half of the week off next week, so I took days off.
Dope.
So I'll be off Thursday through Monday. Ham will be in town.
Next week is Easter Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So we might be
So-
doing next week me just sitting behind Ben screaming, or or we take Easter Sunday. Who knows?
Yeah, or everybody can go celebrate Easter. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Either way, I think we'll probably do one, especially if you two are together. It's nice to do a live
Yeah.
one. you know?
Yeah.
We can.
I'm
Kick
not gonna run
the
out of
can around.
vacation time. I'm fine, combo. I'll be just fine. But
and
yeah,
maybe, just maybe, I'll get to meet an alien this week, and if that happens, we're definitely doing a podcast.
Hell yeah.
I'll have
Nice.
some answers.
I'll be waiting.
right. Well,
Pyramid- big news on pyramids and cats. If I get an alien.
all right. With that, we'll leave you guys to enjoy the rest of your Sunday and get ready for the week ahead. Be safe, be good, be kind to each other, and as always, Alex, it's you cute.
Tell somebody you love them.
Tell somebody you love them.
There it is. All right, he did it.
All right. I told you my brain's moving a little slow, but yes, please tell somebody you love them. Reach out, grab them by the shoulders, give them a big old bear hug, and say, "Hey, you know what, buddy? I love you."
Cool.
That's
Love
all I
it.
got.
Do it.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next week.